Durham, Pennsylvania. Secluded in the Blue Mountains and far removed from the football fields where he made his name, Matt Millen lives life his way. Simply, purposefully, quietly. The only buzz on his property comes from inside his woodshop.
I would go to job sites when I was a kid and just stand there and watch them. I built everything. I can look at stuff, I see the small details and things. I can see how it's built right away, and so I'm comfortable building stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty piece of wood.
You don't have to work. You have the means to pay someone to do the woodworking or the landscaping, and yet you love doing that. Why?
I love it. I grew up that way, Lise. I grew up in a family. I have 7 sisters and 3 brothers. We grew up with nothing. I mean, we grew up in half of a double home. We had 2 bedrooms for 13 people. And so you worked for everything you got. It would be like, Mom, can you grab me a sandwich? You have hands, you have feet, go make it. So that's what you did.
Do it yourself, a mantra that has defined Millen's career. All-American linebacker at Penn State, 12 years in the NFL, 4 Super Bowl rings. The prototypical football tough guy. Reading an opponent was Millen's forte. But in 2011, a simple daily routine started to become complicated.
Back at the house, we have the mountains, and so my wife and I would walk all the time. Well, it got to the point I couldn't even walk halfway up the hill. Something's wrong. She's like, yeah, you're fat. Come on, let's go. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm fat, but I was fat a month ago, and I could still do this. Something's wrong. I said, I better go to the doctor. So I did. And then he came back and said, yeah, nothing's wrong. You got the heart of a 22-year-old. I'm like, something's wrong, I'm telling you. So then I saw these other doctors, all these different places, you know, Philly, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, all these different places, and then nobody came up with it.
For over 6 years, Millen struggled to find a doctor who could pinpoint the cause of his fatigue and shortness of breath. In the summer of 2017, Millen traveled to the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, and underwent a series of tests on his heart. There, doctors finally determined Millen was suffering from a little-known disease, amyloidosis.
Amyloidosis being rare, with 3,000 cases per year versus over 500,000 heart attacks. If you talk to my colleagues who are general internists, if they see 1 or 2 cases in their entire career, it's just not one you think about very often.
Amyloidosis occurs when amyloids, or abnormal proteins, build up in your organs. The condition can affect the kidneys, heart, or liver.
Where it really affected me was it settled in my heart. And in essence, what it is say your heart is pumping like this. Well, the amyloid gets inside the muscles of the heart, and it kind of is like sand. And so instead of being able to squeeze like this, I'm squeezing just like this. The biggest thing with this disease is it goes undetected. And so if you can get the treatment early enough, if I would have got it 6 years ago, I'd still be able to walk the hill. But, you know, it took me 6 years, and so now my heart's filled with amyloid.
Millen received his diagnosis in August of 2017. Shortly before he was to begin his 3rd season as a football analyst on BTN.
When Matt heard the diagnosis, he did say, what's this mean for my schedule? I have some events coming up.
I said, well, look, let's wait till the season's done, and then we'll start something. He says, you wait till the season's done, you'll be dead.
Amyloidosis mimics a cancer, so Millen immediately began an aggressive chemotherapy treatment to stop the amyloids from attacking his heart.
That stuff takes it out of you. And when I first got on it, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, this is easy. I can deal with this. And then as it went on, I'd be like, holy smokes, this is kicking my rear end.
It's been very interesting to see Dad slow down because, Dad's no longer Superman. He's no longer the guy who's the strongest guy you know, who is the toughest guy you know, who basically takes on every battle head on and just grinds until he wins.
Throughout the 2017 season, Millen found refuge in his television work.
Mondays, I'd get the chemo. I'd get the infusion, and I'd have to take a series of pills and injections, and so that was a tough day to get through. Friday, I would start to feel a little bit better, and then Saturday, you do the game, and I would actually feel decent by the end of the day.
The question is, just how far have they
And I think he really needed that. That gave him something to look forward to every weekend, to prepare for the games and to, do that. So I think that was really good to have work to do and to keep him moving forward.
This past season, I couldn't walk 50 feet. I mean, I remember we got to the Michigan Stadium and I was thinking, oh, I gotta go up that incline. This is gonna be tough. And I would just kind of try to take it nonchalant and just kind of stop and look around like, hey, good to see you, yeah, how things? Meanwhile, I was like, I wanted to bend over, I was breathing hard.
They're still in good shape. Their defense for Rutgers has played well. And what does that
Watching this man who I've said is one of the strongest human beings I've ever met. I mean, some of the stories of his football strength, they're legendary. To having to stop after every 10 yards on a football field, that was hard to watch.
Well, they're playing their best football.
It's remarkable that he was able to make it through the entire season last year.
Currently, Millen's heart is operating at just 30% of its capacity. The classic do-it-yourself man, Matt Millen now faces an unfamiliar challenge. That challenge is to sit and wait. For if he doesn't receive a heart transplant soon, this disease may claim his life.
I'm thinking to myself, I don't need a heart. I'm doing fine. I can survive like this. But they tell me that amyloidosis is if you graft it, it doesn't go like this. It goes like this. And so you're good, boom, it crashes. And then it compromises the other systems and then you have problems. It's kind of a weird thing, like you're waiting for somebody to die so you can have their heart. It doesn't sound very good to you.
How do you live through this disease?
There's no cure, and this could take my life. And I'm okay with that. And that's the biggest thing, is I'm fine with it. I'm gonna die. It may not be for 20 years, I don't know. It may be next week, who knows? Whenever it comes, it comes. I gotta get a heart. Doesn't really thrill me, but if I have to do it, then I do it. And then try to make it work. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, I'll see you on the other side. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Matt spends a lot of his time in his shop at his house, building things. And he's very regimented about that. I'm going to build a table, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. He approaches his life the same way. Oh, I've got a disease, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. He's a matter-of-fact, how can I get the job done guy.
He is strong and he is a fighter. You can control your attitude, and he's very good at doing that. But some days are harder than others.
That one got me. All right.
Had you asked me in November last year if Matt was going to be in that booth with me September 1, I'm not sure I would have thought he would be.
How you doing today, Matt?
Not dead yet, so we're doing all right.
Awesome. Hey, there's my honorary captain.
There he is. How you been?
Doing well. How are you?
How are things?
Things are good. Things are good.
Good luck, Matt,
You know,
with everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I can't complain. How are you?
The fact that he's there is a testament to his unbelievable strength. And quite honestly, it's a testament to how much he loves what he does and how much he loves football.
Hey, there's the man.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
You don't do something like this. You don't go through this stuff to get back to do something that you don't love.
Matt Millen.
All men die, but not every man lives. That's very true. I'm not worried about dying. That'll take care of itself. Let's get the living part done. So I'm living.